Remember those days of going camping, roasting marshmallows, telling ghost stories, sleeping out in tents? That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Camp NaNoWriMo. So stay tuned. I'll tell you the 5 advantages of going to Camp NaNoWrimo and tell you what it's all about. Stay tuned. So, what is Camp NaNoWrimo? Well, if you're a writer, you've heard of NaNoWrimo, right? November event where everybody tries to write a book in 30 days and 50,000 words. Well, Camp NaNoWrimo is kind of like the double A version of it. Think of NaNoWrimo as the Major League Baseball version. Camp NaNoWrimo, double A. So essentially, you set up your goals. So let's say you wanted, and it happens in April and July. So you could do two. You could do a book on each one, or work on the same book on both of them. So let's say in April you wanted to write, I don't know, 25,000 words. And then on the same book in July you wanted to write another 25,000 words. Comes out to 50,000. Okay, so you set your goal, 25,000, 25,000. Cool. So simple. Instead of in November going crazy, 50,000 words, oh my God. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I did NaNoWrimo a couple times, and Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, it's a killer. So, number one reason to do it, you set your goals and you're excited about it. 25,000, you can do it. You can set something simple. You can go 10,000 words if you want it. Or you don't even have to go by words. You can go by chapters. Hey, I want to write 15 chapters of my book. All right, cool, boom. I want to write, like I said, 25,000 words. Boom, everybody, hey, everybody's excited about it. So that's one reason to participate in Camp NaNoWrimo. You set your own goals. It's not like NaNoWrimo where the goal is 50,000 words. If you go past that, hooray for you. But 50,000 words is the goal. 2, establish a writing routine. Okay? So, as a writer, again, I've said before, I do accounting, I do blogging, I do YouTube. I mean, I'm all over the place. And then I come home, I gotta clean up and take care of my wife and do a whole bunch of things. I'm exhausted, so I have to set up a writing routine. So now what I do during this time, or even what I'm doing now, is I come home around 4 o'clock, and from 4 to 5:30. I write as much as I can. That's my routine. Set up your own routine, depending on what time you work. It doesn't matter what you do, what time you work. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Okay, so if you work a midnight shift from midnight to 6, and you wake up and you write from 8 to 10 or 8 to 9, just get some writing done. So you set up your own routine and do as much as you can within that time. 3. As part of Camp NaNoWrimo, you can set up daily and weekly goals. Now, this could be in words or in chapters. Now, if I wanted to set up that 25,000, I would divide that by 4. I'm not going to do math right now. So that would be about 6,250, I think. All right. So let's say I had to do that. 6,250. Or I could go chapters. Let's say I wanted to do 3 chapters a week, or 3 to 4, somewhere around there. So I can set up those goals. And that's great, because now it breaks it down even simpler for me. So I set up those goals, and it makes it easier. It starts breaking it down so that you don't have this weight on you, which is like, oh my God, how am I going to reach this unrealistic number? And I can't do it, and you just start sweating like crazy. And I mean, it's a lot of pressure at NaNoWrimo for a lot of people, especially new writers. They just start pumping things out and blah, 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 blah. Again, don't worry about editing, just like with NaNoWrimo. But this is Camp NaNoWrimo. It's a smaller version. You can do both of them to work on one book. Give yourself a little time to do editing on the April version, and plot your July version if you want, whatever you want to do. But it just breaks it down. It's like a microcosm of what NaNoWriMo is, and it just simplifies everything. Okay? But this is the best part. Just like when you went camping as a kid, if you went camping, or whatever you did as a kid where you had a group of people who supported you. If you were on a football team, on a baseball team, and you had people cheering for you every time you were up, you have this interaction with people who are in your cabin. So I know it sounds weird, but when you sign up, you enter a cabin with people, and they're they're always there to support you, and they will support you, and they will check in on you. They'll be like, "Hey, um, you were supposed to have 6,250 words written by this week. Where are they?" And you will get bombarded with these people asking for this. Okay, so uh, you will make sure you reach your goals on that week, and they will cheer you on, and at the same time they will push you. So it's good to have this because maybe you don't have it at your house, and they will give it to you. And at the same time, you can add them as Twitter followers, Instagram followers, Facebook followers, and it helps build up your following on those accounts, which is a good thing. Because one thing I found out about it is they, as long as you follow them and they follow you, when you put your book out there, also they're good for beta readers. I mean, once you're done, you can ask them, "Hey, can you be a beta reader for me?" They will instantly go, "Heck yeah, I'll beta read. Can you beta read for me?" Yeah. I mean, it becomes like a friendship type thing. So it's good to have them, good to follow them. Keep track of who they are so you know who to ask to beta read, and you'll have your beta readers. And then number 5, this one is not really um, like an advantage. I'm just telling you what to do, and that is in your first week, try to get ahead in your first week. So we were saying I broke it down to 6,250. So my first week, instead of doing 6,250, let's say I do 12,000. And the reason I say that is because let's say something comes up during the week, during the second, third, or fourth week. Let's say, God forbid, my wife gets sick, or God forbid, something happens to me. I've had 2 bouts of pneumonia in my life. I also suffer from seizures. God forbid I have a seizure and I get hurt. Anything can happen, family emergencies. Uh, Maybe I have to stay late at work. Anything. Well, there you go. I made up some of this difference, you know. So now I'm covered. Like I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I missed out an entire week. I almost made up a week. I'm like almost 2 weeks ahead. So, or a week ahead, actually. I'm sorry. And now I don't have to worry about people bombarding me, going, "Hey, what the heck is going on? You're falling behind. You're falling behind." I'm actually ahead. So if anybody says, "Hey, you're falling behind," I'm not. I'm ahead. So there you go. That's just advice. But I recommend anybody who is a new writer to join Camp NaNoWrimo. It happens in April and July every year. You could do NaNoWrimo every year. That happens in November, which is good. But remember, that's 50,000 words. That is the goal. Don't worry about editing, just like here. You're not editing as you go along. Don't edit. The goal is to get you going. Because the problem is, we as writers sometimes don't write. We just get, you know, just come home, sit down, watch TV. There's so many distractions. Even in my house, I have TV, we have an Xbox, YouTube, uh, uh, Netflix. I have a lot of things. And then I also have my social media I had to work on. So it's hard to get to write. So when you have Camp NaNoWrimo and NaNoWrimo, all it is just put your head down and write, 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 write. So these are my tips for Camp NaNoWrimo. I hope this works for you. And if you enjoy enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe and hit the bell. That way you're notified anytime I release a video. And please leave any comments or if you have any questions down below, and I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. Again, this is Rick Verde. I hope you enjoyed the video.